So it's National Careers Week here at Cheshire College, and we are committed to ensuring that all of our learners receive the very highest level of support. A single positive thought can be viewed as having the same effect as dropping a pebble in a lake. The ripples can be seen and felt long after the pebble has disappeared from sight, and we truly believe that the power of positive thinking can impact your career success. I am delighted to be joined today by Ben Stubbs, a mindset coach. So over to you, Ben, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, of course. Hey up, people. My name is Benjamin Stubbs. I am a mindset coach. So basically, I work with people one-to-one via Zoom. I've also come into education. I've come into the Cheshire College and work with people as well about the mindset. And I also have got an app, a 6-week new positive mindset course that's on an app. So everything is on there that you can do to help change your mindset. But I just like helping people help themselves, like the phrase of, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach them to fish, feed them for a lifetime. I think it's the idea and power of your mindset and how changing it can be so beneficial in a career environment, but more importantly, yourself, your own happiness is something that I love sharing, and that's why I do what I do.
Oh, fab. And obviously we're currently in England's third lockdown. What does a typical day look like for you?
So this is my kind of officey area here, and it's kind of got a chair where I tell you as well where I can chill out. But I try and work with more of my natural rhythm. So the reason I went self-employed was to kind of move with my rhythm. So I'm not in the morning person, and then I'll book it in, but then I'll get up and then I'll meditate in the morning, and every morning at some point in the day I'll go for a walk or a run. Kind of exercise is really important for mindset as well, and getting outside. Even 20 minutes of light helps your mindset, lifts your mood. So even in the dark depths of winter, even now, get yourself out for 20 minutes, helps lift your mood. And then it depends. So I'll have one-to-one sessions. I might work later in the evening. I'm more of an evening person. They've proven it now that some people are morning, some people are evening. So actually, I prefer working in the evening. So I'll work sometimes from 6 till 8, updating my website, sending out emails, doing sessions online, recording things. So for me, it's more of an ad hoc free day, and that's what I've done it for, really, to have that benefit of having a bit more free will in my time. Some days I'll do back to back. Some days I'll do less. It depends.
Course. And mental health has really been at the forefront of everything we're doing at the moment, hasn't it? And why do you believe having a positive mindset is more important now than ever before?
Oh, because it's so important, because our minds are us. We are run by this thing we put on that we're in. And I think we all know that to drive a car, we have to kind of, it helps us get to certain places. Riding a bike, using a computer helps us find information. Yet we're not taught about this. And we just get chucked into life and try and deal with it as best we can. But there's been studies done, evidence made, scans on the brain done to prove the benefit of positive mindset. Now, positive mindset isn't just being happy all the time, and that's a very fine line. It's not about being happy, like, oh, no bad vibes. It's not about that, because we still have life happen to us. But I would say a positive mindset is a positive outlook. Like, your general trajectory is to take the best out of life, to celebrate life, to be grateful for what you've got. Yes, stuff happens, life happens, but then the kind of positive mindset stuff helps you deal with it and go, right, this isn't very good. It doesn't make me feel good. I feel scared, or I feel let down. But what can I do to grow from it? Like, for me, when COVID hit, I just started my business. So I just started going into schools and businesses with mindset, and then it stopped. And I had no help from the government. This is not me playing the violin. I'm just explaining how mindset come in. And then, so I had to literally downscale everything. And then I thought, right, what can I do from this? How can I become stronger from this? Yes, I had tears. Yes, I had tantrums, because that's life. But then I was like, right, but then when that passed, what can I do? What can I use this to make me stronger? And that's the thing about positive mindset I really want to get across. It's not just about being happy and putting happy things on your wall. It's about taking every scenario, allowing your emotions, because we're human, but then when they move through, because they do, emotions always pass, go, right, what can I take from this? What is the silver lining in this? How can I grow from this? If they have a kind of positive growth mindset like that, then the world's really your oyster, and that's what people really, really latch onto.
Yeah, fab. I know something I've always reminded myself of when I'm feeling stuck or distracted is the power of yet. So I can't do that yet, or I don't understand that yet. And I think it really helps move away from that fixed mindset that you've mentioned. And do you think there are things that people can do to improve their mindset?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people, what I always try and say to people when, again, clients and students, when I work with students, is people forget that your brain is a muscle. So if you wouldn't go to the gym once and then pick up a 50 kilogram weight and go, oh, chuck it down because you can't pick it up and go, oh, this stuff don't work, you wouldn't eat a salad and expect to be size 6. Do you know what I mean? We know that with diets and exercise, it takes time and regimen and structure. And the same with your mindset. So if you want to change to a more positive mindset, just having one happy day going, I'm going to change my mindset, but then keep doing what you're doing, keep watching the news, keep slating people, keep moaning, keep complaining, keep judging, keep all the things that you're doing. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get what you get. So the idea of making small changes, but keep the habits, make them your new routines. Like if you move something in your house, like I moved my underpants and socks drawer, not a great visual, but I moved them up a drawer. So I moved them from the second one up to the top one. What did I do for the first 2 to 3 weeks? I went to the old drawer because my brain was still programmed to go to that old drawer. It took 4 to 6 weeks, and now I always go to the top drawer for them. And I want people to remember that's the same as your mindset. It takes time. It takes practice. But what I want you to what I want people to take from this is the hope and knowing, just like if you cut your calories, you will lose weight. Just like if you go to the gym regularly, you will build muscle. If you make the effort to change your mindset and stop watching the news, stop complaining, stop moaning, actually start to look at things you're grateful for, start to celebrate life, start to watch positive TV programs, start to have nice conversations, you know, 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see a difference. 100, you'll see a difference before then, but you'll definitely see it. So just take that your mind is a muscle, it needs training. And by that, it just means new pathways, new routines, and new habits. So don't do it for a day and go, oh, stuff doesn't work. You wouldn't do the same with a diet or an exercise plan. It's keep at it. Your brain's a muscle, you can do it.
Yeah, and like you've mentioned, sometimes it's the small tweaks and changes that you can make to your lifestyle that will really have the added benefit in the long run, isn't it?
I think people forget that they try and this overcomplicate it, and but then people we don't know, like we said, we don't get trained this stuff. You know, I think schools and education now, this is brilliant that you're taking the Cheshire College are taking it more. It's more important to them because people are realizing the power. We don't get taught this. So when you just realize that certain things we do, like complaining, like watching the news, like scrolling Facebook for hours, these are things that just slowly ebb away our happiness, slowly ebb away our contentment and our peace. And we find ourselves anxious, nervous, scared, low self-esteem, and we haven't realized why it's happened. So it's just simple things you can install and change that can make a difference, and that's the best thing about it.
Of course. So, how do you think having a positive mindset can support career development?
Well, loads of different ways. One, it's been proven that if you're more positive, and again, when I say positive, I don't just mean happy all the time, but because you might be moving through some things in your personal life. But if you've got a trajectory of, I want things to get better, that's what I mean. But that's what I mean by positive mindset. Not just faking you're happy, but the positive mindset that when you do that, you then naturally learn more. You naturally soak up in education more. You naturally retain information more because you're not blocked off to new information. I had a quick story when I taught, when I in my teaching days, of one lad that struggled with maths for many, many years before my classes. And then the year he was with me, we talked about mindset. We talked about having fun and enjoying the classes. And his mum said, what have you done? He's picked up maths like that and he's passed. And I'm like, it was all about mindset. I'm saying the exact same things as previous teachers did in his high school, but the only difference is he was relaxed, he was more positive, and that made the massive difference. So that was one. From an employer point of view, let's be honest, who would you like to be around more? Someone that's more optimistic, someone that's more celebratory, someone that's more real. Like if you're having a down day, that's fine. But knowing that it'll pass, not complain, 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 complain. There's a difference between letting your emotion out and genuinely talking your problems, and that's what I'm 100% for. Mental health week, etc. Please share your problems. There's a fine line between that and complaining about your ex, complaining about this, complaining about the weather, complaining about Brexit, whatever you were complaining about. Do you see the difference? So who would you like to be around? Who would an employer rather be around? Who would they want working for them? Someone that's optimistic, that's real, but he's got a positive mindset that, yes, if there's an issue, they will deal with it. They'll confront the issue, but they celebrate success. They're excited about the future. They want to push the business forward. That is what people want, and it's win-win because you feel better, and the employee feels better. So it's win-win.
Fab. And do you think that employers will really seek candidates that can demonstrate they've got that kind of positive outlook moving forward?
Yes, I think yes, definitely. And to the previous answer before, very similar to that. But I also want what I think people realise is authenticity. I think employers want authenticity. You know, being real, being who you are, celebrating who you are, and and having that positive mindset. Because if you think about the employees have got to work with you. So if you're a good person, if you're a kind person, if you go out, the way to help people, and you are that person, that employee will lap you up because they're going to have to work with you. That's the thing. So yes, your qualifications to cut hair, I need to know how to cut hair. I can't just blag that and be a nice person and get a hairdressing job. You need your qualifications. But one thing I'll say genuinely that I've learned over the many, many years is people buying to people. If they've got 10 people in front of them that are all qualified, who are they going to pick? Someone that's positive, someone that's kind, someone that shows that that they care and they're real. And I think that's something that they're definitely looking for, because what makes you different on that paper, who they're going to call in. So it's, for one, when you're applying, it's showing that you're doing things that you care about your community. But in the interview, if you come across as positive and and excited for life and wanting to learn genuinely, then they'll lap you up.
Oh, brilliant. And last but not least, Ben, what would be your top 3 tips for someone looking to shift their mindset?
Right, I wrote this one down because I didn't want to panic. Right, 3 things. 1, the want to change. It's important. A lot of people say, oh, you should go and get some mindset training. If they don't want to change, that phrase, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You've got to want to change. If you want to change, that's the biggest hurdle over. 2, believe you can change. I've given you hopefully the hope and just the scientific evidence. There's lots of evidence that your brain is just a muscle. It makes pathways. Just remember the underpant and socks drawer moving. You've all had something in your house that's moving. It's took you a while to get used to it. Remember that and that'll give you the belief that you can change, that there is hope, that you can move through anxiety and move through some negative doubts about who you are and what you do. And the 3rd tip would be install them. So make the change, be the change. Don't just pretend, smile, do a little bit of, run and think that's going to make the change. Make differences. Look online. There's all these different tips and tools you can do. Contact me. I will send some tips I recommend to people, like, cutting social media down, changing your conversations, watching different TV programs. Like, why have a real stressful day? Then go and watch a murder documentary. Do you know what I mean? It's all these different things, and make the change, make your habits now. And at first it will feel weird, but eventually, just like I did, you'll eventually go to that new sock store, and you'll naturally be more optimistic. You'll naturally be more positive. Yes, you'll still have life happen, but you'll deal with it better. You'll let things go quicker, and you'll get yourself back on the horse quicker.
Oh, fab. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ben. If you've enjoyed listening, remember to like and follow Ben on social media. His pages will be linked in this post. And remember to get in touch with our careers team if you'd like any further information, advice and guidance.